Dude, yeah, that's where I saw it. I was like, what's that? What was that fucking rice that Jordan always had that I wasn't allowed to use because it was so fucking good? And I nailed it. This shit is so fire, bro.
It's just better, dude. It's just better than anything else.
It's higher quality.
You know how I make it? I do however much rice I want, and then I put some grass-fed butter and a teaspoon of salt, pink Himalayan salt.
Okay.
Bro, some Kerrygold yellow butter and some pink Himalayan salt just is fucking delicious. I could eat a whole pot of rice just by itself. No,
bro,
no
you want to know the number?
dude.
You want to know the number of times that you had your rice cooker sitting out with rice still in it? And I would just go in and take a little bit of rice, dude. That shit was fucking gas, dude. So that's what I did. I put the butter on it, not the grass fed, but just some salted butter, and then chicken broth. I made it with chicken broth instead of water. So
nice. Yeah, Brooklyn does that. She'll use beef bone broth
fuck
at the store and cooks it in. She makes this Spanish rice. It's like red Spanish rice with the beef bone broth and some like tomato concentrate.
God,
dude, delicious.
God damn.
So good. Like some sweet onions, like a little bit of sweet onions, like mixed in. And then
then
we'll add then we'll make it up and then like add like a little protein to it, like a chicken or something. Like,
so wait, she cooks it in the rice cooker with the onions?
No, she does it in the pot, like in a stainless steel pot, like a big pot.
Nice. And she puts the onions in there like to cook with it, so it like all gets that onion flavor.
I don't really know exactly how she does it. I need to ask.
You just eat that shit and it tastes fucking good as fuck.
Yeah. It's not like a lot of onions. It's like very, very like little, but they're little Easter eggs you get. It's fire, dude. It's like a Spanish rice. It turns out red. Yeah, dude. When you're over here, she'll make it for you.
Dude, I'm down.
She told me to ask you like, what type of food do you like?
Dude,
I
like any
good food, and she wants to be a good host for you.
Fuck, dude, that's fucking money. Honestly, my favorite kind of food is any food that I don't have to cook myself, bro. I fuck with it. I fuck with getting food made, bro. Honestly, that's just money.
Okay.
I really don't care, bro. I do not care.
Yeah, you don't have anyone to cook for you out there.
No, bro. And I don't have anyone to cook for, so it's like I'll make up a little extra. Like that's why I'm excited about the potluck. You know, people get to taste my cooking again. It's like I'm not a great cook, but like at the trailer, dude, getting to fucking whip some shit up and feed the boys. I would make a big portion. Love that shit. I don't get to do that shit anymore, but shit, I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm excited.
The main thing I cook right now, this is like my main staple of nutrients, is I have a cast iron that's perfect size for this. So it's I get 2 pounds.
It a 1-pan meal?
Yeah, but it lasts me like 2 to 3 days, depending on how much I eat.
Shit.
I do 2 pounds of ground beef. And then I'll use like whatever my favorite seasoning is. I use Cow Camp, like 90% of the
Camp is the best, dude.
And so I'll like cook it in the cast iron. So I use butter. This is like all animal based. I don't use like any vegetable stuff other than like a little bit of seasoning. Right. So just for this part, like I'll eat fruits and stuff. It's not like I don't eat any of that in my diet. This is just like
for this one.
This is like for my protein, right? This is
got you.
Where I'm getting that my proteins and my fats.
Got you.
So I do I'll like melt the butter and then I'll throw 2 pounds of ground beef in it, and then I'll do 5 eggs. I'll cook it. I'll make sure it gets brown, right? I'll cook the ground beef, then I'll throw 5 eggs on there, and scramble it up in the ground beef, and that's what I take to work, dude. And I just
fucking ground beef and eggs, dude. That's money.
I eat it at work. I eat it for dinner, and it gets me like everything I need. Like animal, dude. I feel strong after I eat it.
Oh, of course, bro. It's pure, like it's literally pure energy. You're getting pure energy, like the most like densely packed form of energy that you can possibly get. You're going meat and eggs. I'll bet you you're fucking and easy, bro. I'll bet you your price per plate of that has doubled with the eggs. What is your shit? Is your shit crazy out there?
Dude, so Winco usually has like a good deal on eggs. When we first moved to Folsom and we're going to Winco, these eggs that we would get, these were Sonoma, some ranch in Sonoma, but they're from Sonoma. These brown cage-free eggs that we would get were like $3.20 for 12 eggs when we first moved there.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
They have the same ones now, and they were like $8.
Oh
now.
shit!
Like, and it's like it's like sporadic when they have it. It's not like they have it in stock all the time like they used to. It's like there's barely any eggs. Well, last time I went, they didn't even have it. They only had the super cheap white eggs that they normally sell for really cheap. Those were like more than double in price. Sprouts has actually been pretty good. I ended up going to Sprouts and they had some good eggs, some pasture raised eggs that were actually pretty affordable compared to whatever they had at Winco. So I don't know. If it has to do with like house, because they're the farmers market. They got all the good produce and stuff like that. So I don't know if it has to deal with their business connections and because they carry eggs that Winco doesn't carry. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the eggs, dude, man. So obviously, you know, I went to town today. I went to the grocery store. Normally I buy my fucking eggs at the grocery store. But it was $5 for like some farm name, like, you know, obviously mass produced, you know. Do you know the chain, the grocery store chain, Super One? Have you ever heard of Super One?
I don't know. I've been around, so maybe I've seen it, but you know,
it's big up north. Yeah, it's big up north. It's like a northern, like they have it in like Minnesota and shit, and like up here in the northern areas. So it was like whatever the eggs were there, you know, like their standard eggs. So they had those, $5 for those, just normal, whatever, small size eggs.
Is that what they normally are?
No, normally they're like fucking $2. Normally they're cheap as fuck. But since all this avian flu or whatever the fuck, it went up. It's up to $5. And then so I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna get eggs. Fuck it. That's like, not that I'm broke, but I'm like, I don't want to spend $5 on 12 eggs. I don't even really eat that many eggs. But so I finish my shopping. I go next door to the feed place to get some wood chips for the dog's kennel and for my shitter, so I can cover up all the shit with some wood chips. And right there, bro, where they keep like the horse tranquilizer shots and all that shit, in like in the little refrigerator that they got. Yeah. Right there it said farm fresh eggs, 1 dozen, $4. And I'm like, let's fucking go, dude.
Are they pretty good?
Yeah, dude. They're like orange, brown, white. They're all different colors. I haven't eaten them yet, but they're like, you know, fucking farm raised.
You should eat one raw right now on the pod. Do it for our fans, man.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I would if I had one. I would eat it right now.
I'm sure you would. I mean, I don't doubt that for 1 minute, but that's not my thing. We'll keep that your thing. But yeah, I was just like, dude, I go to the pet store and I get eggs for cheaper than I do at the grocery store, and they're fucking real eggs. Like that's why Montana's fucking dope. That's the reason. But also probably just because like the family that runs the store was like, fuck, we got eggs and eggs are hella money. Let's just drop it $1, you know, from the grocery store and then make a killing.
Yeah, they're helping people out.
There was only like 2 or 3 cases in there in the very back, so they had sold a bunch.
Dude, you should build a chicken coop at your place.
That's what the dog kennel was going to be originally. It was going to be a chicken coop. I have a little chicken coop box built, and I was starting to fence it in for like, because I was going to have the coop and then the fenced in area so they could like go out and walk around and shit. But then the dog kept getting loose and running around, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna make this the dog kennel. So I made it the dog kennel, and I used all my material, all my free fencing for that. So I have to get some more fencing before I make another enclosure for the chickens. But I'm thinking this summer, dude, just in the winter, I don't have a way to like keep water melt like liquid out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to have like a heating element for their water. And it's like for the dog, I just heat up a pot of water before I go to work on the stove, and I put it out there, and it's pretty much, you know, it probably stays liquid for like 4 or 5 hours. He can go a couple hours without drinking water, you know, so it's like not a huge deal. But if I were to have like the chickens out there, I'd want to have like, you know, constant water available for them at all times. Like they're way more fucking like touchy.
Yeah,
I guess
they're smaller, so they don't have as much body heat, you know.
That, and yeah, they can't store as much, all that shit. So it's like, you know, but this summer, dude, I'm like almost 100% going to do it this summer. I've already got the fucking coop built. So it's like, I'm just going to fucking go for it, dude. Like 3 hens or something. No cocks. I don't fuck with cocks. But I'm going to get a couple hens.
Okay. Dude,
just had to throw that out there.
They say eating fertilized eggs is actually the healthiest way to eat an egg.
So you want a rooster out there?
If well, I mean, I don't care. It's not my spot.
Oh no, but like that would fertilize the eggs, right? That's how you fertilize them.
Yeah,
is with a rooster.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I've heard that fertilized eggs are like super extra healthy because they have like stem cells in them.
Yeah, they got a little bit of chicken sperm in there, dude. That's very healthy, bro.
Yeah,
that chicken sperm, that's just fucking God's nectar right there, bro. But yeah, sorry. I take it back. But no, I'm doing that shit for sure this summer. And then like once it hits wintertime, then I'll just kill the chickens and I'll have some fucking chickens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'll do, like an annual thing. Like I'll get them in spring, have eggs all summer. Once it hits fall time, you know, maybe like Thanksgiving, I get myself a little chicken for Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've never killed a game bird. I've gutted and killed plenty of fish. I've never gutted and killed an avian creature.
You really? You've never like skinned a bird and like dissected it or anything?
Nah. Well, maybe in fucking class. I don't know. No, we did like a mouse.
That's like, I've like dissected more birds than anything.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to go pheasant hunting and duck hunting a lot with my dad growing up.
So like if you're gutting the fish, you know, you cut from the butthole up to the mouth basically, and everything comes out in one go. It's real easy, real nice. You know what I'm saying? To get rid of the internals. What do you have to do for a bird? Is it the same thing? You cut the butthole up to the mouth or what? Because it's got a rib cage. Right or no?
Yeah, there's a technique to do it like that. Yeah. We would do it with pheasants. So after we're done like plucking pheasants, there was a way that I haven't done it in a few years. It's been a while since I've like even gone hunting with my dad.
Right.
But yeah, there was a way where you cut them correctly, and with the pheasant, we could just like stick our hand up there and like grab it and like scoop it all out.
You're going like that, or you cut it open, like.
Yeah, you gotta slice it open a little bit to get your hand in there. It's not,
but you don't open it all the way up. You don't like spatchcock it, like cut it right in half and like pull the shit out, because you never skin a bird, obviously, right? You want to keep the skin on.
Yeah, you pluck.
I don't even know how you would skin it right. You pluck them. Right?
You could skin it, because once you unplug all the feathers, the skin is like really thin. There's a way to skin it, but then it exposes the meat, and the meat will kind of dry out even more. And you know, birds they're mostly dry. You know, it's rare to have a fat bird. Like chickens we can get fat because we farm them, you know. But you know, I mean, it gets wild game in general, but yeah.
Got you.
There was this cool blender thing that this one guy had on his rice field. So he set up, he would grow rice, and pheasant like high grasslands, so they grow or they would live in his rice fields, and he had a little trailer that so it was considered a pheasant club. You would go there and like you sign in and you could like hunt his land. And he had this other little area where all the people could clean their birds. And he had like this metal tub. It was like a circular tub, and there was a bunch of rubber knobs that protruded inward from the tub. And then he had a motor that would like shake the tub and spin it really fast and vibrate it. And you just throw the bird in there and it would bounce around like a ping pong ball, and it would like strip off all and pluck all the feathers for you. It like hella quickly. It,
and
like
it probably
seconds.
Tenderizes it a little too.
It had to have, because it was like vibrating and hitting it. And then so like it would just come out and there'd be like maybe a few left on. You pluck those off and then you just like slice it and gut it. Because on a bird, so there's like the breast of the bird, right? Imagine like, I'm trying to see how my hands look on the screen. Try to imagine like here's the head and like the big body. Like
you got the whiteboard behind you.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yo, hit up that
whiteboard. Let's go.
Let's go.
I got to erase. Okay.
I don't want you to erase anything important though. That's perfect. Yo, what the fuck is that? Yo, what the fuck? Yo. Oh, dude, I cannot hear you at all. I can't hear a thing you're saying.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the mic and turned it off. So that's a duck on there. Can you see the head?
Yes.
And then the body and then the feet?
Yes.
So
hold on 1 second. While you draw that, I got to flip over these ribs. They're starting to sizzle. God damn it. Ow. Fuck. I got to figure out how to flip these things. Hold on. Sorry.
If I don't if I can't get Buster Johnstone on within the next week, I'm gonna erase all the notes I took on his book.
Okay, that sounds fair.
So he's gonna call me back. He's not calling me back. I'm gonna give him a call. Zeta, don't tread on me.
Where? Hold up.
On the ground. Right behind you on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
On the backpack. Nice.
Yeah. That's at the local Mangy Moose. $10.
Don't step on Sneck.
Yeah, it's a no step on Sneck.
Okay, so right here's the bird. I also a little small, but here's the head, and like here's the body.
Right.
The body. So can you see the rib cages I drew?
I can, but now the camera's focused on your hand.
Oh.
Get closer to the, yeah, there you go.
So here are the rib cages. Like it comes down, it's just like our rib cage, how like our lower stomach ab area isn't protected by the rib cage, just the upper part.
It's curved. Yeah. It's like a
so you could cut them in the soft spot of the bird and split it there, and then you can like reach in and get the guts out.
Oh, really? Okay. So they don't have like or as rigid of like a sternum as we do?
No, their bones are hollow.
Right. Obviously, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Birds are, when you get your hands on a bird, dude, they're like pretty easy to snap. Like you could just like break their neck. Like when we were duck hunt, like a lot of times you shoot them out of the sky and they're running away, or they're still alive, and you go and retrieve, the dog retrieves it, or you go and retrieve it, and you would just like grab their neck. Some people like to like, everyone has their own way of like snapping the neck. The easy way is just to grab the head and then spin it around. Like, like just
I've
like
seen that technique.
like that, you know.
I got you. Okay. So
I've seen people bite the neck and like break the neck with their mouth. Just like it was always some old head, dude.
Some old head that's drinking whiskey at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
Fucking
for real. No, not 9 a.m. Way earlier, like 6 a.m., dude.
Okay, first light. Yeah, there you go.
They have to get out there and set up their blind when it's pitch black. So they're out there way before sunlight. They gotta be sunlight's when you can start shooting, and that's when all the birds are low.
How the hell do you tell what sunlight is, bro? This shit is gradual. How do you know?
Well, you can look it up. Like they have them posted. They have like first daylight and the time. Usually, like if you go and hunt at a refuge like YOLO, they have check-in stations where to hunt certain areas, you have to check in, you have to get a number, and you have to check out and show your limit after. So they know
is
you're
that
not
public land?
YOLO's public, yeah.
And you got to check in for public land?
Well, it's like it's a refuge. It's a
habitat.
It's a habitat area. So yeah,
gotcha.
It's public. It's public, but it's not.
And you're allowed to hunt it, but you have to have you'd have to have your tag. You'd have to have your fucking. Or how does that work? Do you get individual tags, or do you get like it's like a season pass, like with fishing?
So you have your hunting license, and you have your. It depends on what you're hunting. You need your waterfowl stamp, or which is like, so that's ducks, geese. I mean, I guess that's the main two, like different species of ducks and geese, and different species have different limits. You know, like you can get like so many
5 of this, 10 of that,
and
20 of the other.
It goes for gender too.
Right.
And then there's upland game birds stamp, which is like birds that run.
Pheasants. All that shit.
Quail. Yeah. Turkey, I think, is covered in that.
Okay.
But so on the refuge, there's a fish and game little cabin booth where you normally would check in. And early in the morning at like 5 a.m. before the sun comes up, guys are out there. Usually a lot of people want to hunt out there. So sometimes you have to get drawn, and like they have you put in like a lottery to get pulled because there's so many people. They can only let a certain number of people out. Right. So you check in and you get a number, or like sometimes you could just show up. It just really depends on like the time of day too that you go. Some people do an afternoon hunt. And
afternoon hunt, really?
Yeah, they'll hunt until, and then so it's like sunrise and sunset are the best times. That's when the birds are coming and landing and for the night and all that. You have to show your hunter license. You have to show that you have the correct stamp for whatever you're hunting. And then up there, they'll usually have like the time of sunrise posted. Like if you look in the weather app on your phone, it'll say like 6:04 is today's sunrise, or 7 o'clock or whatever.
Okay.
And so then everyone like has got either their phone or a watch or something, and that's how they know.
I see. Okay. So it's not like back like in the olden days when no one had phones and it was just like first light. That's when you get to start shooting. Because that's what I was more interested in. Like, how do you denote like the start of the day?
Yeah, first light. That's how pretty much is. Like some people will start shooting early, and then once some people start shooting, then everyone's like, okay, it's time. Everyone starts shooting.
First time you hear the shot go off in the valley, then you're like, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's just who's gonna be that first one, you know? But everyone's itching.
That's funny. So how many times do you go duck hunt?
I used to go like 4 or 5 times a year. Like when I was
really,
Yeah, like growing up and then pretty much like up until high school. After high school, I uh like
Sports.
sports and like moved and I didn't really live at home, you know.
Right.
So
So you didn't do any duck hunting in Oklahoma?
nah. There's good duck hunting out there.
I was
But
gonna say, yeah, I've heard that.
yeah, there was a bunch of guys on my team that would go hunting. They'd go deer hunting together and duck hunting, but like I didn't have a shotgun or anything out there. I didn't have like cold weather like hunting boots or anything like that. I don't know. You know, I definitely, if I would have put in more effort to do it, I definitely could have, but I really didn't put any effort into it. I was just like 100% all in on baseball. You know, I didn't. So
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do when I get, because I don't have my hunting license out here. You got to, if you're gonna do it in Montana, you got to do your safety course and a bunch of shit, and it takes like fucking takes damn near 12 hours to do.
did you get your hunter safety in California?
No.
Could you transfer it to Montana, your hunter safety? Like if I have my California license, then I could get it in Montana as well.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. If anything, California is more regulated than Montana.
Yeah, they definitely do that because they have out of state hunters that come for deer and elk and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had my hunting license. I've gone out, shooting birds and stuff, obviously, but so I shouldn't have been doing that. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Poacher.
I'm a poacher. I've always had my fishing license. Always had that.
Everybody's poached something, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If you ain't poaching, you ain't having no fun.
You ain't a real hunter, dude. You ain't a real hunter.
100%, dude. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do that when I get back. I'm bringing my little tiny laptop. I'm gonna fucking bust that out. I think I'm just gonna use that to use the vacation to do a lot of shit that I need to do in terms of like logistics. You know what I need to do? I'm gonna plan a bunch of shit because you can't really do it when you're here. You know, it's like there's always something I have to be doing or like could be doing here, like physically. So it's like I don't have time to like take a step back and like think about big shit. So it's like, dude, we should definitely fucking think about the bachelor party though, dude. I mean, fuck, that sounds fucking crazy, bro.
Dude, I got invited to another bachelor party today.
You did?
Yeah, for one of my teammates. He wants to plan a 3-day weekend with golf 3 days in Tahoe and Reno.
Oh, that's pretty sick. Do you golf?
Yeah, like, golf.
Like legit golf? Like I know we went to the range. We went to the fucking
range
a couple times.
I've been golfing since I was in first grade.
Dude, you got all the gentleman fucking shit down. You've got the fucking duck hunting. You've got the golfing. What the fuck? You drink whiskey? You drink Irish whiskey? Scotch?
I'm a good golfer. I like golfing. I've been golfing for a long time. But dude, I was gonna say the hunter safety, dude. When I took mine, you could do like pretty much a lot of stuff online now and virtual classes and whatnot. But when I took mine, I had to go in person and sit through this one it was at a pheasant club called Yankee Slough.
Yankee Slough, huh? What's a slough? I have no idea what a slough is.
Let me look that up. I don't
Isn't it like a geographical?
It is.
It's like a topological thing. I gotta figure out how to lift these ribs up. They're getting too hot. Hold on.
Can I keep talking?
Yeah, please.
A slough is a swamp.
A swamp?
Slough.
Like a marsh?
Yeah, or biology. A slough is a swamp or shallow lake system, usually backwater to a larger body of water.
So it's like, like prime time,
like a wetland
habitat.
A wetland. So this one was a pheasant club though. So they had giant like netting tents with where they would breed pheasant and farm pheasant, and they would put the pheasant out in their fields, and people would go there. It was private, right? Like anybody could go there, but it wasn't like a government thing, so it was like a private business, and people could go out there and they would pay for a certain number of birds. And so you'd be assigned to a certain field. You can hunt this field, have your dog run out there, and then and like point the birds. But so that's where my hunter safety was at. It's like your dog would point it, you go up and you flush it and you shoot it. It's fun. It's pretty fun.
How old were you when you did that?
That was like all grown up through high school. We used to go out there all the time.
So you had to do it how often do you have to do that?
For the hunter safety, you just got to do it one time. I'm just talking about
got you.
hunting. I've been out there lots of times. But for the hunter safety, that's where they had the class at, and I took it there, and it was really cool because the guy there got into a lot of gun safety stuff too.
That's just good general knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, good general knowledge just for like young hunters coming up. He was an old guy and he was just like helping the next generation, got into like different types of guns as well. And it was like I think it was like a 6-hour class or something like that. Maybe like 6 hours, 2 days. Take a test at the end and you take it one time and then you could just renew your hunter's license for every year. But it was cool. It's not hard. You probably like know all the answers already.
I don't know, man. I might be carrying my pistol off safety in my pocket, That sounds like something I would do, you know what I'm saying? So who knows?
I mean, if you're in danger, that's the safest way. You know what I mean?
True. This is true.
That's how they tell, like, if you're EDC, they always say keep one in the chamber.
Electronic Dance Convention?
Yeah, everyday carry.
Like my dad, he keeps that clip on the back of his belt. Little tiny gun about this big. It's literally, bro, it's like this big. It's so small.
Even when he's not working?
What?
Even when he's not working?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Every fucking where. And you can't tell. You can't see it. It's like the way he stands, you can't tell that there's a gun back there.
Does he stand very straight?
Yeah, he like almost arches backwards. He's like this, like a little bit.
Does it look forced because of the...
It doesn't look forced. I think it's because he's always had a fucking bulletproof vest on, which is like heavy. He's always had like, and he's had all of his equipment up here. So he's had to stand like that to stop from going like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then your vest will sag too. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just from going like this all the time. He's just got this little hidden area right here. He's a fucking piece at all times.
That's awesome.
It is pretty awesome. And it's funny because like now he's like old and like skinny and shit, but he's got that fucking firepower on him, dude. It's hilarious. And it's also very reassuring, dude. Like just going anywhere, especially with his like, if we would ever go out to the like the garage in Sacramento, which I can't fucking believe you've never been there. We're going when I'm back. Where's your work? Is it on the way to Sac or is it in Folsom?
It's in El Dorado Hills.
Oh, it is?
It's up the hill a little bit.
Okay, so it's nowhere near. 50. Okay.
Is the garage closer to 50 or 80? 80.
It's off 80. It's on Bell, right next to that marijuana dispensary that's been there for 100 years. Used to be Doctor's Orders.
I don't know. I've never been to that one.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm down to go. Like I can. It's just. We'll see.
No.
It's not my work's not by it.
Okay. Well, I also need to I'm going to talk to my dad about moving the trailer down there because he's got hookups. Did I already talk to you about this?
Yeah.
He's got hookups. So I'm going to talk to him about that. I want you to come survey the area, see if it's like something doable because it's like, it is a sketchy part of town. That's why it always felt better when he had his gun on him when we would go out there.
Is that what you want me to be out there? You want me to be out there with that?
No. I mean, yeah, I'm down. I can't bring any of my guns on a plane, but I I need to go. Yeah, I'm gonna survey it. I'm gonna fucking like see what we got to do in terms of permits and all that shit. I'm serious about it because I mean, it'd be better to do that than sell the thing. You know, I'm only gonna get 20,000 for it if I try to sell it. So rather do that. But yeah, we'll see. Gotta love having the peace on you at all times. They need to allow that for airplanes, bro. You gotta be a federal marshal. You gotta be an air marshal to do that. I'm just a fucking guy that wants to have a gun. It's like in Montana.
You can ship it.
Can I ship it?
No, you just gotta have a locked case. And have it like just look up the law about like shipping firearms. I think it's like
is it
you gotta check it? You gotta check your bag and you gotta have like parts separated, like the magazines have to be unloaded, separated. You can't bring ammo or you might be able to, but it has to be separate from where the gun is.
Okay.
You can ship firearms like flying with them. But there's you just got to look at like the requirements.
It's probably going to cost extra and shit, huh?
I mean, only if you're it costs to check a bag.
Oh, well, okay.
So, but
can you put it in a checked bag?
I don't know. If it's in a certain type of case, it's got to be in like a locked case.
But you got to declare it. You got to be like, yo, I got a gun in here.
Yeah, you have to declare it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's worth all that. I might just borrow a couple of your AK-47s and use those.
My mini ones. Are you bringing a checked bag? Are you checking a bag or are you carrying on?
Just backpack.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I always carry on. But I heard a tip if for someone that frequently travels is to label your suitcase fragile and you'll get VIP treatment. They'll be easy with your stuff. And they put it off to the side, like on top of the other luggages.
So it's always first to get in there, make sure it gets in there.
Well, I mean, they put it on top so nothing else is crushing your stuff, right? It's not at the bottom. And
okay.
Because it's on top, it's first to get off.
Oh, shit.
They pull it out first. And then, so yours is first to get to the pickup. And so, like, you get there and your shit's already there waiting for you.
Dude, that's genius, bro.
Yeah.
It's not like the Jim Carrey treatment where when it says fragile, they just start kicking it around and stuff. So they actually treat it. They treat it respectfully.
Dude, I don't remember if it was on the way to Cabo or on the way back. I think it was on the way back. It was in Seattle. So we had to go from Cabo to Seattle to Sacramento. We're in Seattle. We had to get our bags again, or my parents did. Because it was an international flight, we had to go through customs and then recheck our bags. And so my family goes to recheck their bags, and these two Russian guys in a Slav squat sitting on the, where you go to the airport, you check your bag, and they just got like a belt that goes off somewhere, wherever the bag is.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there. They're literally sitting on the belt. They're not even like sitting behind the counter. They're sitting on the belt in like a Slav squat. And my parents and my brother hand them their suitcases, and they take the suitcases and they just fucking chuck it. They just like take it and just like fucking yeet it for no reason. Just like down the belt. Like it's like they just fucking. It wasn't too wild. They didn't elevate it. You know what I mean? They didn't like throw it up at a 45-degree angle, but they threw it like down the belt, and it was like. Why are you just throwing the suitcases, dude? Why are you just chucking it like that? Like you could have just taken it and set it on the belt and respected our property. Dude, I fucking eyeballed those guys, dude. I was like, what the fuck was that? I was about to knock them, dude. It was like, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you doing that?
That's fucked. Holy shit. That's funny, though. That's funny, though.
It's funny. It was funny. It was funny. But at the same time, like, that's one of the reasons why
I would not have been laughing at the time, but like me hearing it secondhand later after it's been done already is very funny.
It was not funny.
You said yeet, and yeet is an amazing, funny word. And I love that word. So anytime you say yeet, I'm gonna laugh.
And they got like rotation on it. So it was like spinning. Like, why the fuck you gotta spin it?
Put a spiral on it, you go for a touchdown, fucking hiked it. Holy shit.
But anyways, that's one of the reasons why I carry on. So I don't like it when people are touching my shit. They don't respect it, you know?
Well, I don't really need anything. I have a bunch of clothes back at the garage. You know, I have all my shit from Granite Bay still in boxes, all the stuff that I didn't take, which is, you know, I took all the good stuff, so I'm going to be dressing like a damn clown. But, you know, I don't really care. I might go to a thrift store, pick up some more shit, but I'm just bringing my carry-on, my backpack. It'll have my laptop. It'll have my weed cartridges. Or no, maybe I have to check that. So maybe I will bring a checked bag. Right? You can't bring the weed cartridges on the carry-on, huh?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't bring stuff like that anywhere. So I did have weed cartridges that got pulled out of my bag in China.
Really?
Yeah, when I was coming back from Korea, I had some weed.
Oh, bro, wait. We haven't done a Korea talk on the podcast. The podcast doesn't even know that you went to Korea.
I went to Korea for like a 1 week. It was like
I know.
It was like 1 week, and I was supposed to stay there. But yeah. But so on the way back, I brought my weed pen and cartridge there.
And what was this? 2016, 2017, or 2015? It would have had to been 15 or 16, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was either end of six. I think it was like fall 2016 because I had graduated. So I was back here. I graduated May 2016.
And you hadn't moved into the trailer yet.
No, this was before. But I was working at Mountain Mike's because I left Mountain Mike's.
That's why I know about it. Yeah.
I left Mountain Bikes and then came back to Mountain Bikes.
Yeah, that's why I know about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Jordan's back. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I came back like a week later. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna wait a month before I ask for my job back.
Dude, that was fucking. And then, so Chris fucking did the same thing, right, with Vietnam, but he was there for like a couple months, right?
Josh,
fuck.
Yeah, he went and taught there. He did a lot longer.
But he came back to Mount Mike's too, right?
Yeah, he came back to Mount Mike's. Yeah.
He was at Mount Mike's, left, went to Vietnam, taught there.
He didn't make it
Mount Mike's.
He didn't make it a full year though.
No.
He got like dengue fever.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and he got sick and he came back. But he went to Mountain Mike's and then from Mountain Mike's he went to this place up in Placerville. The burger joint. Did you ever go to the burger joint when he was managing it?
No, but wasn't it in the old Frosty Freeze or something? Or right next to it?
Yeah,
or
it was something like that. Yeah.
No, I never got to go because he said he couldn't get me a free burger. So I said, fuck it. I ain't going if you can't give me a free burger.
No, he would bring home stuff though. He used to
yeah.
You remember he used to bring me over burgers all the time
he used to bring them over, yeah.
When he lived at his parents' place.
I do remember that, dude. Yeah, fuck. And then what did he do after that? He got married.
Well, he works at Gray Bar now. He took my job.
Oh, that's right. He works at Gray Bar.
Yeah,
still?
I left and then really like pushed for him to get hired and told him to apply and like told him like all this stuff to stay, you know. And so yeah, last I heard he was still working there. He's like always says like he wants to find something else, but he's been
not really.
Yeah, he's worked there like he might have. I worked there for 2.5 years, so he might have like passed that by now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So it's a job that you get sick of.
I did, yeah, I did, just because I was dealing with shitheads like the customers. Because, dude, the position.
You talked about the shitheads. You told me about the shitheads. The guys that would come in and be like, "Give me fucking this now," or like whatever, right?
They just think they're hot shit.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty funny.
The guys that were in my position, like one would be in that position and then leave, like either go to a different department or just like leave and get a different job somewhere else. And then someone would come in and then leave. And then I came in and took over, and it was just like rotating door for this.
It's just a turnover. Yeah.
But there's another guy I played baseball with who worked there. His name was Kevin. Kevin was cool. I think last I heard he was still working there. And then yeah, Josh, last I heard, he's trying to go somewhere else, but he's been there. So I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. He got married and like he doesn't talk to people. He doesn't talk to me as much, at least.
Well, he didn't really talk to anyone ever, but we worked with him, so and he would come over to smoke some Schweed, and then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to hang out with him all the time. We used to play ping pong all the time growing up.
Oh yeah, the ping pong.
Because we played baseball together, and he would always come over to my house, like at my parents, and play ping pong because he was good friends with another guy down the street from me named Adam, and so he would hang out. He would always hang out with Adam, and then they would come over and play ping pong. And we would play ping pong at the Folsom Sports Complex.
Dude, yeah, you guys would microdose at the complex and fucking.
I would macrodose, dude. I was I'm ping pong. I think honestly is the best sport that I'm best at. Like better than baseball, better than soccer growing up, dude. Ping pong, because I grew up with a ping pong table in my garage, and we're always having like guys over from the neighborhood. There was like 3 or 4 of us that lived in like right in the area, and that would come over and play ping pong. And dude, yeah,
that's fire. I mean,
ping pong has always been my favorite.
You had the what do you call it? Like the fucking, the match where people can just like drop in, and it's like, that's how you become the best.
We have pickup games.
Yeah, pickup games. You have to pick up game ping pong. So it's like, that's how you get the best skills, by playing a bunch of varied people, not just playing with like the best people all the time to do it a certain way. It's like playing varied people, getting different shit, seeing lots of
different styles of play.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Like I never lost. I'm just being honest.
Never lost. Really?
No, not like, dude. It was competitive, but dude, ping pong's my game, dude.
Really?
Not there. Not at home and playing like different guys there. At the Folsom Sports Complex, when I would go to the league, I lost all the time.
Oh, so what's the difference between like a garage level player that's like a really good garage level player? What's the difference between that and like someone in the league? Is there a difference?
Or it's a massive difference, dude. It's a huge difference.
Really? Like what? So what's the technique difference? What's the why? How?
Well, that's it. There is huge technique difference, and like guys fundamental play, good. There's footwork and like certain positions to be in to hit.
Footwork?
Oh, footwork's huge. It's a sport. It's an Olympic sport. Yeah, it's a rally sport too, like tennis and badminton and stuff. You have to have good footwork to be in.
Okay, now we're talking.
To put yourself and be ready to receive the ball and put yourself in the position to hit the ball. You want to hit the ball at certain heights of the ball flight path,
of the bounce.
Off the bounce. Yeah. And like you learn to recognize how to hit certain spins when they're hit at you. Like when you backspin, when someone hits a good backspin chop to you, if you try and top spin that from your side, your paddle is just going with the spin of the ball. So this ball will just roll off the paddle, and you'll end up hitting the ball downward into the table, and you'll hit the net. So if it's a low one, you'd want to chop the ball, and it'll counter the spin, and then you'll send another back spin the other way. But you can top spin it at times. It's just you want it to be like bouncing high, so you can top spin it and get that downward trajectory over the net. Just things like that. There's like tactical play that you learn by playing in the league. I mean, there's coaches there. There's like one of the dudes there. I went to with his son in high school, or actually all growing up. His name's Franklin Zhuang. His dad Zhuang. He's Chinese. And I knew his dad from growing up because he was a year younger than me, but we went from like first grade and kindergarten all the way through high school together. And so his dad knew me and I knew him. And I was good friends with Franklin growing up. But like his dad was like a national player. He plays like
Really?
he's professional and has won like national tournaments, and he's the coach there, and he's the head of the league. And there's other dudes like that there too. There's other people that like go to pro tournaments and win money there. Like I wasn't playing in those. There's different ratings. It's like a bowling rating. Have you ever seen? I played like Wii Bowl, and like
I
see
mean,
how.
not really, no.
Have you ever seen like how like tennis ratings are on like pro tennis and golf ratings and rankings work with the
Yeah, my
point
little brother
system?
had like an amateur rating for tennis. He
Yeah,
told me a little bit about it.
it's
It's like
similar like that.
nationwide.
Yeah, it's nationwide. It's
Yeah,
like like a chess rating. There's chess ratings too. You
yeah.
know, those those
The tennis rating. My little brother explained it to me a little bit when he got rated. He was like 16,000 or something.
yeah. So like I could tell someone like I'm ranked in the United States, but I'm
Yeah,
ranked at like 40,000, because
yeah.
I just, I haven't beat, you have to beat people better than you to get your rating to improve.
It's honestly
You know what I
pretty
mean?
fucking sick. That's pretty fucking dope. Being able to do that.
Yeah, but and it's a big difference too. Like I said, with footwork, like when you're playing in a garage, it's usually cramped. I mean, you have space, but you don't have space like you do when they actually set up boundaries for you at the league, and you can run around. Dudes hit shots, these like flop shots where there's this one guy, he's a pro, and he does these crazy tricks where he stands hella far back behind the table, and dude hits it like 15 feet high in the air with this nasty spin, and it'll look like it's flying in the stands, but then it like fucking curve back and hit the table, and the other guy will like jump up and slam it. And dude, me and Josh would play like that. Josh was nasty with those big flop shots like that, and I'm really good at jumping up and slamming those smashes. But this one guy, he was just on another level. He would hit these trick shots, and he would like run back. People slam it, and he goes and runs and gets it, and he would like get it and do like a little like 360 spin, and just like he was hella fun to watch. Everyone would watch him.
That is so, because I had a ping pong table for like, let's see, my parents didn't really like want us, fucking around in the garage. Like my mom had a shop in the garage. She did upholstery for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she was like a stay-at-home mom, like when she stopped doing gymnastics, coaching, she started doing upholstery in the garage. So we didn't have room in the garage. But fine, like whenever she stopped, it was probably like I was like 15 maybe. And I had played ping pong, and I was pretty good naturally at it. Like at my cousin's house, like for like Thanksgiving, Christmas stuff, like holidays, I would go and I would beat my cousins that were like 5, 6, 7 years older than me. I would beat them at ping pong because it's similar to soccer in terms of like the foot and the ball and understanding the spin and the curve,
Mm-hmm.
and power and like that type of thing. But there is like a third dimension now where instead of like a foot and a ball, where it's just like lateral and like vertical, I guess it is the same. It is the same dimensions, but
it's sports,
it's sports. But there's physics involved.
Your
And
hand
so
eye
I'm pretty good at understanding like the natural physics of like a thing if I do it enough, and so I got pretty good at it. But we only ever had it like in our house from like 15 to 18, and then I moved out at 19. So it was like I only really had it in the garage for like 3 years, and I would have friends over and play, but like you said, you're cramped. Like there was a fucking $40,000 car right next to you in the parking spot next to you, so you couldn't get too fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So it was like,
yeah,
I didn't have.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't have the ability to fucking get out there and fucking do like footwork and shit like you were saying. I didn't have like the room for footwork. You know what I mean? Because I'm backed up against the wall just trying to like, play like this. But I feel like I fuck with that shit heavily. Like I could if I do spend some time on that, I could probably get pretty good. You know what I mean?
We would move the cars out of the garage so we could have more space. We would always back them out.
Gotcha.
And then like one big thing too is the paddles. Like recreational paddles in ping pong are such a scam. Like
Really?
they're just terrible when it comes to like I would say recreational paddles are for ping pong, but when it comes to table tennis, like everybody at the league that are regulars, you make your own paddle. The stuff that and quality of
Wow.
just of the rubber and the blades and the sponge that you use, you literally can't take like a cheap rec paddle that a lot, like I would say like 90% of garage players use.
Like the one that
Like,
comes with the table.
yeah, yeah, like that, or even the better ones that are made by Butterfly and Jula and Stiga.
The
Like
ones they
even
sell
those
at like
at
a
Dick's.
Sports Authority.
Yeah, at Sports Authority and Dick's, yeah. Like those ones, even those ones, like those are such ripoffs. They'll charge you like 50, $60 for a paddle. And it's good for a garage setting. That's what I had. But like if you try and take that paddle and play against like a real table tennis paddle, someone will hit the spin on the ball and it'll literally just like slide off your paddle because your paddle grip like doesn't work against it.
It's
And
not equipped for that amount of spin.
it really isn't. And they're such ripoffs. Like it's hard to even, unless you've like seen how both play and like experience how both of them like play. Like you could take that rec paddle and just shove it, dude. It's like, so there's things like that too when you go from like garage play, which I didn't even know like how big of a difference the paddles could be, honestly, until I went to the league.
Yeah.
So, and then like I've made my own since then, and it's kind of unfair if I ever have my paddle somewhere and I play someone with one of those cheap paddles because they can't even rally. Like I'll literally just like do like an easy shovel back to them to pass it back to them. And just through my motion and hitting the ball, it would put so much spin on it and it would just like fucking hit their paddle and zip off to the side. So it wouldn't even be like, it's like that level of difference just in the equipment.
Got you. Okay. So it's not just footwork. It's not just technique. It's also equipment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, a cleat, a boot, it's only going to do so much. You can't really upgrade a boot that much. You kind of can, but you're not, they regulate it. So in the table tennis world, they let you go balls to the wall, whatever modifications allow you to hit this thing the best you can do that.
I mean, there's some like rules. You can't have like ones that are too big, they have to be like
right. But in terms
guidelines.
of like the grippiness of the material, it's like whatever is scientifically available, you're welcome to use that as your surface.
Yeah, I guess. There's certain like.
So, but what about so with the bats then that you're making too?
Well, this
right.
is
Shouts out to Weber Bats, our
Weber
sponsor
Wood.
for today.
Weber Wood.
Weber Wood. I gotta say Weber Wood.
Weber Wood.
Okay.
Weber Wood bats.
I'll say Weber Wood bats. I don't want to say just Weber Wood. I'll say Weber Wood bats.
Well, I mean, I could Weber Wood, dude. I got a planer too. I could do stuff on the planer. I got a saws.
That's true, but it sounds like we're talking about a phallic object.
I mean, I can make some table legs, some candle holders.
True. Okay, so shouts out to Weber's Wood, or see, I don't know what the fuck, bro.
You're the one that said that, man. I wasn't even.
All right, Weber Wood. Shouts out to Weber Wood. But like, so with the regulations with the bat, like you're obviously more, aware of like those types of regulations. So what is the difference that you're doing with your bats than is commercially available, at least in the mainstream?
I can like put my own paint on bats, and seal them however I want to seal them. Whereas if
does that all affect the hit of the ball, or is it just like the bat density and shape and distribution of weight that matters?
Yeah, that does matter, but also like if I use a paint that dries and it's pretty sticky, when I hit the ball, it'll probably get more spin on the ball than if there's a bat that has a a really slick, shiny, like clear coat on it, just stained, stained and sealed, But
Right.
there's bats like that in the big leagues too. There's different paints and like stains, and like some manufacturers have been trying to use a matte paint because it has a little bit more grippy texture.
Hmm.
And certain stains that and sealants to keep the wood from like getting wet,
Right. For the
So
longevity of the bat. But like, so
you
in
can't
terms
have
of like,
sandpaper on the bat. Nothing kind of like that. It's within reason.
it's within reason, right? But in terms of the shape of the bat, is that like, are you subscribing to like agreed upon norms, or are
Yeah,
you like,
it can't be too wide on at the head, of the bat. You can't have it past. I think it's 2 3/4 inches. Nothing bigger than that, and you can't have it more than a certain length.
hmm,
You can't have it too long.
is there a like a mathematical equation that goes along with like this shape, this density, this weight is the best to hit a ball far?
I think a lot of it is preference for the hitter, but when
Right.
for like shape and weight, there are different things called turn models. Have you heard of a turn model before? So what a turn model is, there's like, say, C270 or 191 or an R10 or an AP5. Something with initials like that sometimes are custom turn models for a professional ball player that they like this model of bat. And so a company will like carve it and give them a turn model name. But basically, they're just different bat shapes, right? Some of the bat shapes will have like 2 5/8 diameter barrel on the bat and have a thin handle. Some will have like a 2.5 inch diameter barrel and have a thick handle. And depending on the bat shapes, you can use different densities of wood because they weigh the wood before they carve out these turn models. And with these turn models, like if you have a dense wood, it's going to be heavier. So you usually need a thinner barrel because there's less mass, like material there.
Oh, so you still have to like conform to the weight regulation.
You don't want it too heavy. And most guys
you don't want it too heavy.
Well, most guys want it between a drop 3 and a 0.
So
0 is like a 33-inch, 33-ounce bat because you can't have a bat that's too heavy. You can't swing it against fast pitching. But
gotcha.
So okay. a turn model is like different shapes of the bats, like different like a R10 is a shape of a bat that these guys have in their computer for their CNC lathe. And they carve out an R10 shaped bat, but then they have ones that are like an AP5 and they carve out that shape of a bat on their CNC lathes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if let's just say you have the strongest guy in the world, and you got this graph here, okay, where it's like you give them the size of the bat and the weight of the bat or whatever. Or I guess it's really just the weight of the bat. The heavier the bat, and the harder, and with the same amount of speed on the swing and power in the swing, the heavier the bat, the farther the ball goes, right?
Theoretically, yeah.
So, are you on that graph with the bats that you're making? Are you like farther on that graph of like the heavier bat, or are you more on the faster swing bat?
The bats I make are all heavier than normal. Okay. Like I get close to normal, and like I can carve it less and make lighter bats, but just as a rule, because I'm hand carving them, I like a bigger head, and the wood that I get is not prime wood that these like Louisville Slugger and Marucci and all these other bat makers get. So I just buy it at Rockler, which is like a carpentry store, woodworking store, and they have billets. And so Like I just pick them out there. I try and get straight grains and good wood, but I also don't carve it down. I like a thick handle. I like a little bit heavier bat. So if I'm able to swing it well, then and I do like get it hit the ball perfectly. Yeah, like theoretically my bats would go farther because force equals mass times acceleration. They're more massive.
There we go, baby. That's the formula.
Yeah. But
force equals mass times acceleration. Fuck yeah, dude.
The bats I make because I like to swing them in games too. They're usually bigger and heavier, but because I also choke up. A lot of guys don't like to choke up on the bat. I like to choke up. I'll have like a long bat. It'll be heavy, but I'll choke up, which will leave like extra out down at the knob, but it makes it easier for me to swing. So a lot of people, they just got ego. And when they're swinging a bat, they always like to hold it at the very end of the bat so they can like kind of whip it and like throw the head out there.
Huh?
No, it really is. A lot of people
explain why it's ego. I've never heard that.
People think choking up on a bat is like a 2-strike thing. Like when you're in 2 strikes, you have a 2-strike count and you're hitting. A lot of coaches teach defense you to choke up on the bat so you have more control on the bat and you have
more control.
Right. And so I do that kind of naturally, but some guys, they think of it like that and they don't do it. Like I do it a lot of the time, not all the time, but I do a lot of the time. Some guys don't like to do it ever. They think it's like weak sauce, you're defensive swinging. But it's,
until you hit that fucking dinger on them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, what works the best. It's like, why would you want less control? Why would you want less control? Because you can hit it farther or what?
Yeah, there's been studies done. If you have a longer bat, you can have more power. And if you catch it out in front in your swing, like people have tested that you'll have more exit velo on the baseball when you hit it.
So is that because you're technically taking out some of that length that would be adding to the speed of the end of the bat?
Right.
Okay, because if you have more length, then you can get more speed in that same distance.
It's harder to swing at a longer bat too if you're facing fast pitching. So that's why I like to choke up too if I'm facing fast pitching. But what's cool when I make my own bats, because I know that my approach to the plate and how I like to hit, it's like how I do with my ping pong pals. I can make the rubber, I can choose certain rubbers and certain foam and blade to suit my play style, whether it's defensive or offensive. I can carve my bats the same way. I like to choke up on a bat. So when I choke up, it makes the bat feel lighter in your hands too, because there's more weight underneath your hands now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I can carve a bat that has a fat, long barrel on it, bigger sweet spot. But because I choke up, it's not going to feel as heavy to me as it would if I made that same sweet spot and then I was holding it at the end of the bat. So it makes it easier to swing. So I can carve bats like that, like to my liking. If I'm choking up all the time and I'm able to swing something that I normally wouldn't be able to swing.
And like you said, it's for your situation, easier to carve, gives the bat more, structural integrity. It would be kind of cool if you just went out and started breaking bats though, because you had fucking, subprime wood, just start getting the shitty wood and shaving it down real thin, and then you can start breaking bats. Could you do that? Would that be a thing? Is that a thing?
During a game, I would want to break a bat.
Oh, I don't know. Wouldn't that make you look cool?
I don't want to break a bat during a game.
Oh, okay. Why would that be bad for the brand, or would that be good for the brand? Because
it's be bad. What the fuck?
Okay, so breaking a bat is never good.
Breaking a bat's never good. Dude, I haven't broken a bat in a long time. I'm a pretty good hitter. I don't usually get jammed or hit it off the end that often.
Okay, so it's not like breaking a backboard in basketball. It's not like you're really good if you can break a backboard.
No, it means you suck at hitting. It means you're not good, honestly.
Really?
Okay. I mean, in the big leagues, guys get fooled and guys are throwing 100 miles an hour, but You never want to break a bat in baseball unless it's like over your knee because you're angry or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it means you got fooled if you break a bat as a hitter. So,
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
Because normally breaking equipment is a sign of like superiority in sports, or anger or superiority. It's like in basketball, if you dunk so hard that you break the backboard, that's legit. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're smacking a tennis ball so hard that the strings break, that means you're fucking a badass. You're fucking working at the top of your fucking physics right there.
Yeah.
But if you break a bat, it means you probably fucked up.
It means you didn't hit it right. It means you hit it in the wrong spot. It means you
got you.
Because if you hit the bat on the sweet spot, it'll never break.
Never break.
Unless it's really old, it could flake and like the paint's done and all that. If it's like a really old bat, it will like that spot because you've hit it like 10,000 times in that one spot. It's eventually like you do that to anything. But
so let's talk about the sweet spot. Is it mostly based on the swing, like that the bat is a part of, or are you saying like on the bat there's a sweet spot on it, that has its own like resonance frequency or something that makes it
exactly.
Let's go, dude. Really?
Yeah, let me get a bat. Let me get another prop.
Hold on, let me take a Mr. Producer break.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
Mr. Producer.
Oh, Mr. Producer forgot.
Mr. Producer. You got all them hoes. Mr. Producer. He's got the feeling. Mr. Producer. To the emergency meeting.
I left one bottle outside because I wanted to make the timing right.
Oh, Adam Master Antonio was in the web stream. That's the guy who come with my neighbor. He would come over and play ping pong, and he was in the chat and he said that we did our hunter safety together. I remember that. Yeah, that was sick. And
no way.
He used to go duck. Yeah, he lived like 2 houses down, and
wait, he's in the chat right now.
I don't know if he still is, but he was commenting, and he said, and we used to go, his dad and him and my dad and me, we would go duck hunting and pheasant hunting a lot.
No shit.
Yeah. It was cool.
That's fire.
It was cool. He was in the chat. Thanks for watching, Adam.
Shouts out to Adam,
yeah.
Legend.
I think he's a fish and game warden now.
Really?
I think he's like in Nevada. I think he's a fish and game guy. or a sheriff. He might be a sheriff or some EMT or something.
That's out, dude.
I don't remember. One of my friends is a fishing gang guy. I know Cameron Jeter. Anyways, okay, here's a baseball bat. So here's the head, right? Here's the barrel. The sweet spot on this bat is like right there. When you drop the ball,
I can't see it. Lift it up. I can't see it.
It's like right there. When you
so it is closer. It's not like once it gets wide, it's not in between the two widest parts.
I mean, it's like it varies. It's like there's a space, but so it's like a resonant frequency spot. When you hit there, it literally feels good, like sweet spot. You know, when you hit, it's like when you kick a soccer ball on your foot. You kick it with the sweet spot on your foot. There's spots on your foot where it hurts if you kick it wrong. You know,
of course.
So if you hit it at the end, you'll feel the shock in the handle. It'll vibrate. If you hit it right here, too far in on the hands, it'll do the same thing. And those are the spots when you hit it right there, you can actually break the bat. If you're hitting it on the sweet spot, it's like the geometry of the bat. You hit on the sweet spot, it's not going to break.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but if you hit it out on this, you can break it. Or if you hit it on your hands, you can break it.
No shit. That's crazy, man.
But like, yeah, if you hit it on the sweet spot, it won't break when you're swinging. You might get a bad hit because you might like hit it like into the ground or like pop it up in the air or whatever. But if you hit on the sweet spot, it's not going to break.
Dude, that's fucking money. Okay. I'm glad I asked. I had no idea. You know, I would have thought if you're hitting hitting it hard enough to break it, you're a legend, but guess not, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. I haven't broken a bat in a long time. It's been a while, but I was using these bats called bomb bats, BAUM, and they're wood bats, but they're composite and they don't break. So you can use them in wood bat leagues. It feels like a wood bat when you're hitting with it, but they don't break. So I haven't actually broken a bat in a while. But like this last season, I used my bat and I didn't break it. It's not like I'm hitting it off the hands.
And you're getting quality enough. The wood has enough quality to not break apart from hitting it on the sweet spot. Because if you have low quality wood and you hit the sweet spot, it's still going to fuck up, like you said, right? If it's old or whatever.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. When I go to the store too, I look at the wood billets that I'm buying. Like I'll examine them. I'll like look at it. I'll look at the grain. I want a straight grain. I don't want a grain that's like doing like weird things. I don't want I'll look out. Sometimes I'll have knots in the billet because it's a giant long cylinder. Sometimes I'll have knots in it. And if the knot's in the wrong place, I don't want that billet because like maybe it's going to be where the handle is or the knob is going to be. And like if there's a knot in the wood, it has potential to like kind of flake apart or like the center will fall out on certain types of wood, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, no, 100%.
There's some like structural stuff that with knots that could affect the final product.
Well, it's a different density, especially on a lathe. It's a different density than the material around it. So it's going to be the grain. If the grain is facing a different way and your knife is coming along it, you know, it's going to act differently.
Yeah.
You know, it's facing, it's completely inverted. So yeah, dude, when I'm chopping wood, dude, you know, if you chop into a knot, then you're fucked. Like it's it's not splitting, or it's like not going to split.
Yeah, like where a branch attaches. Yeah.
Where you cut it off with the chainsaw. You know, you got your rounds, and you go to split. If you are anywhere near that, so when I'm cutting like a half log or a full log, it's like I specifically leave the knot. Like I'll target them and locate them and chop around it.
Yeah,
you know,
and then what I go around.
Yeah, what I'm left with is like a nice little, you know, pizza shape, you know, perfect for the firewood, you know, depending on how big the knot is, like that's how big that last piece is going to be. You know, I'm chopping around it. Because, dude, you cannot chop through those things. So I completely understand why that would fuck up or be different on a lathe when you're carving or when you're hitting, especially with resonance frequency. If you're talking about it like that, like that's much better through a consistent material. If you're talking about waves and vibrations, like if you have knots all in your wood and it's vibrating, it's gonna, that would be crazy. Like just if you think about it on a, on a wave level, like a molecule level, the molecules are going to bump into each other different.
So that's why I try and get straight grains. Cause like you said, it's going to like the wave and the vibrations are going to move through it better if it's straight than if like the fucking grains are all twisted and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you can look at the end of it and, it might look straight from the outside when you're turning it, but you look at the end, then you can see all the grains and you can see like they're kind of like wobbly, and also try and find straight ones on the end too. And one thing for heavy bats and denser wood is more grains. So I'll say this slogan that this is Darius actually came up with this one. More grains, more gains. So if the more grains in the wood that I can get, it's usually heavier, it's denser. So it's gonna be a heavy bat, but like when you swing it, it's gonna have tons of pop. It's gonna be really hard and have tons of pop.
I like that, dude. We should fucking. Hey, do you have the ability for the podcast? Would you have the ability to have like a little GoPro live cam or something that we could walk around with it, or no?
Yeah, I can go live with GoPro.
Could you log that into YouTube and go live on YouTube like the podcast?
Yeah, I don't think I can like connect us to Zoom, but I can go live from the GoPro.
No, like when I'm in town, if we go and like hit some fucking, I don't know, man. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do. I mean, I can do it from my phone too.
Oh, true.
YouTube app.
But do you have headgear for the GoPro?
Yeah, I got a head strap and I also got a chesty mount.
Okay. That's fire.
360 GoPro.
360.
Yeah, 360 GoPro, dude. It's the best GoPro. It's the only GoPro I'm ever gonna have for forever. Because
what's it do?
Like I could put it on top of my helmet, like when I'm snowboarding, and it just looks 360 degrees. In the app, I can just go in and I can swipe around like VR and edit the video, and I could just like select certain points at certain times for it to aim towards. And so like a normal GoPro, you have to point it one way and that's what you're capturing. This does that too. It does a normal GoPro where it's just like one screen, but this with the 360, you don't even have to aim it. You literally set it there and do your thing. And afterwards you can aim it wherever you want.
And you can go live with that. You can go live with that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, actually, for the live, it might go live 360. I'm not too sure, but I think it might be able to, but for sure it can go live and do like normal, like just a normal like video one way. For sure it can do that. I'm not sure.
Dude, that's fire. Okay. I'm like, the like the Twitch streams where they just go around walking around doing fucking like we should do that, getting some billets, getting some fucking like fire sushi or something. I don't know. I really want some sushi, bro. I'm fucking fiending for sushi. There's no good sushi places in Montana at all.
Do you want to like learn how to carve a bat or something on the lathe?
There we go. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You never carved it at the trailer, did you?
No, because you were always in there. It was a really small space, and I didn't want to fuck with your vibe and your flow because you're kind of all over like doing that, and it was only this big.
Yeah.
But I never did any of that because anytime it was on and you were using it, you had your bat. You had a goal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we could.
I'm down.
We could do something. One of my other buddies that I played with wants to come over and learn.
Yeah, dude, put on a little workshop for us.
Yeah.
Invite the neighborhood, bro. Learn how to make a wood bat. Charge $20, and we'll pay for dinner. Let's go.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't like our neighbors.
Oh, really? You got shitty neighbors?
Nah, some of them are cool. The cool ones across the street moved.
Oh.
Our next door neighbor is a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a Russian crackhead lady.
Is she in your shit?
Yeah, she hella nosy.
God damn it. Dude, I could not do that, bro.
Not in a while, but like I'm not gonna invite her. That's you know what I mean? Oh, dude, speaking of drink, dude. Oh, my coworker, his uncle made some lemon liqueur from his lemon trees.
Ooh.
He had like a bunch of lemons and he made his own liquor.
Holy shit.
And I'll have to say it is some top three. Well, not including water, but I would say top three liquids I've ever drank in my life.
Damn.
Liquids.
What?
Top three, not including water. Obviously, water would be number one because I need it for life.
Milk is pretty good.
But yeah, but my top three is like pure 100% good ass honey, like same pure 100% maple syrup, and it's just lemon liqueur, dude. Oh my god, dude, it was so tasty. It was like drinking like a lemon warhead alcohol, but not as fake lemon sour as a warhead, but it was sour because it was lemon. But
no
not
shit.
But not too much. But it was like super sweet and sugary, and it was
alcohol.
And it was alcohol, dude. It was homemade, dude. It was the best,
what the fuck,
bro? I'm holding it. I'm saying it's way up here because it was that delicious.
So have you tried another type of lemon liqueur?
Not a lemon liqueur, but I'm saying just like in general for liquids I put in my body, and like there's a lot of tasty liquids that in drinks and stuff. This was that good, dude.
This was that good. Do you think it's because it was homemade and it was his shit, or is it just like that combination of flavors is going to be fire no matter what?
Honestly, I feel like it was well made and it's a small batch. It's not like something that you get at that's mass.
Nothing artificial.
There's zero artificial. It was like fresh lemons right off the tree. Like it's not like there's no artificial, homemade small batch, and it was well made. And
dude, that's money.
He says his uncle's like an older guy. He's like his dad's brother or something like that. His dad's wife's husband. I don't know. He's got a few uncles, but he's older. So, and he says he's been making his own liquor for a long time. He's been a distiller, like a home distiller and so he's got good experience. So it was some good stuff. And I've tried like homemade alcohol before. Remember when Kyle had that old guy, that old pothead that would come over?
Oh yeah, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, and he would make. Do you remember when he brought over his homemade? Yeah. Mead. So like, that's cool. That's cool. That was good, but it's like, it wasn't like on the level of what this guy had made. What this guy had made it into my top three. Like delicious.
Top three. That is.
I mean, and it's the only drink, honestly, like honey and maple syrup. I drink them like a drink. I do that, but they're not actual drinks. You know what I mean? Dude, I don't know. It was.
Yeah, you're talking liquids, bro.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude, it was that good. It was that good.
It was that good. Dude, I've never had a lemon liqueur. It sounds delicious. It sounds like the flavor of like a lemon meringue. So it's like tart and sugary, but it's alcohol in a liquid. Was it like a meringue?
Say that again.
A lemon meringue. Have you ever had lemon meringue?
Like a pie?
Right. Yeah. So was it similar to that? I'm trying to envision it. Like just like a lemon off the tree would just be lemon, and then sugar would just be like lemonade. Lemonade liquor?
No, it was different than just lemonade. It was
because I'm trying to envision it.
Yeah.
Kinda. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know.
I need to have some of that in my life.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have any for you because it's small batch homemade, but
Nah, bro,
I'm told.
you gotta plant the lemon tree. You
Oh
gotta
yeah,
figure
yeah.
it out yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Brooklyn's got a bunch of them. Um, we're gonna distill our own in the future. That would be sick.
That would be fucking sick. So wait, you have a tree out there already?
Brooklyn's got like 30 lemon trees growing.
What?
Yeah, they're smaller, but her biggest one is like almost 4 feet tall or something like that. 3 feet tall.
Oh, I had a question. Are you guys rent controlled or is it like month to month?
Um, I think we're month to month right now, but they're not raising our. We're in an agreement. They're not raising our rate for like another year.
Oh, nice. And but they would if it once the year's over.
I don't know. We'll see. They did last after our lease ended.
Got you, dude. Because my buddy Jack in San Francisco, his place is rent controlled, dude.
What's that mean? Like there's a limit?
Yeah, like what he rented it for, like he got it's like 1700 a month or something, and it won't go up.
That's
So
tight.
you get locked in. You get locked in at that rate. There's people in San Francisco in rent controlled areas that have been rent controlled for a long time that are still paying like $400 for like a place in San Francisco.
Yeah, and they could leave whenever. It's not like they're in a lease too, right? It's just topped.
It's just topped. Yeah, it's like a rent control by the I don't know if it's city or county or what, but it's like
government thing.
yeah, it's subsidized. So it's like the homeowner is still getting. They have a different agreement. You know, the homeowner is getting paid taxpayer money, I believe.
Oh no, they don't have that out here.
Yeah, I was curious about that because I don't know. I never really I rented one time, but I was not on the lease. I've never been on a lease. You know what I mean? Or I guess I was on the trailer. I don't know what the hell that was, but I never had to do that. So I didn't know if that was something that was like you said, like it's every year.
I've heard of that like in like bigger cities, but like out here, like Folsom, Roseville area, where the places I've looked at, I haven't seen it. They've had like some low income housing apartments, but they have lower rates because they do get like government assistance, but they're not like rent controlled.
Right. Okay.
Where there's a limit.
Yeah. Was that where? Is this over by Sunsplash? Like on the other side, or where? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the one I'm talking about is here in Folsom.
Oh,
apartment complex.
Okay.
I knew someone that lived at, but yeah, you have to show like income statements. You know, you need to show like you're not
like all the time.
I don't know about all the time, but at least when you're applying. And when I think if I would have just showed mine and not like anyone else, like I think I would have qualified or something because it's not like it's too high, you know, you can still like be, but if you're a single person, like it's better, but there's like a long ass wait time too, because it's a better deal. So there's always people like trying to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get in one of those or you wouldn't have you guys make too much money. You guys are too rich.
No, apartments suck, dude.
True. Yeah, you guys are in a fucking house, dude. Fuck. Dude, I'm jealous of Logan, dude. Logan got that shit locked up. He got that program.
What's the program?
It was to keep it was like 8 months long. Doesn't exist anymore. And the only reason that Logan got this is because our friend Kyle Atterbury.
Yeah.
He became a realtor.
Okay.
And right before, or like I guess right as the market was getting hot from like, well, or no, I guess it would have been before that. Was he a realtor? I think he was. So he probably started that in like 2019, 2020, whenever he moved out. I don't remember when.
Didn't Kyle work at Granite for a minute?
Oh, right. Yeah, he went from Granite to real estate. Yeah, totally forgot about Granite. So I think he worked at Granite for until like 2020. So like I guess like kind of when the market started getting hot, he
all that COVID
became a realtor. Yeah, and he fucking made bank. Absolute.
They slashed the rates down, the interest rates to like 2.5. Like, and then everything started booming in the real estate market.
Yeah, now they raised them back up, and now the market's fucking cold.
Yeah.
So, but the
isn't that fucked how they could just do that? You know, the government
it's so fucking crazy. It's the Fed, dude. It's not even the government. It's like its own thing.
Right. So, they just can do that. They can just fuck with our economy like that.
It's crazy, bro. They're the fucking like the three witches with their orb and their ball. They're just like fucking with shit.
But it is part government stuff because the government, like in the treasury, can print and just like Trump had like stimmy checks and like business grants and all that. You know, they're putting money into it too. You know what I mean, into the economy. But then then everything that together just like created the huge exponential fucking boom that happened.
Well, a lot of what it is, that the other side of it is corporate, shareholder payouts and just like unregulated inflation by these corporations like Amazon and Walmart that are just upping the prices on everything just because they can, because they can take advantage of, or they took advantage of like the low interest rates. They were like, dude, money's free right now. People have cash. They've got stimulus. So it's like, we're going to up the prices because people got all this money. And there's so much demand for all of these things because everyone has money. And they up the prices and then they just kept going. And now they're not stopping. So anyway, the reason I bring up Kyle and the loan stuff is because he was able to find Logan a guaranteed loan for like $500,000 that required, I think, like $2,000 down or something, dude. It was like $2,000 down, like 4% fucking on the rate. And I think it like took off. I think it like covered part of the total cost of the home. So it's literally like California subsidized young people that make a certain amount of money. And Logan was right in the sweet spot. If you didn't make enough, you didn't qualify because they wouldn't risk it. And if you made too much, then you didn't need help from this plan. So it was like, dude, he was right in the sweet spot of amount of money he made as a single person. He did this as a single person, like no cosign from the parents, no dual income, just fucking whatever he makes, whatever Logan makes at Granite is what he like. And it's probably pretty good. I wouldn't imagine that it's more than like 60,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not crazy, but anyway, that's how Logan got in, man. He got a fucking took advantage of a perfectly set up situation by chance, by total chance. It's like he wasn't planning on doing it, and then Kyle was like, dude, like we can do this, and he was like, all right, let's go, and he just fucking did it. That's legendary. Dude owns a fucking house now, bro. It's pretty sick. Or he was showing me, and it's not too bad. He does have a shared wall with his neighbor, which is kind of wild.
That's how that's how they're building all the new homes. All the new homes that are there's tons of building in this area and like the edges of Roseville, like deep West Roseville, all the new stuff out there, and all the homes that they're building in El Dorado Hills and on the edge of Folsom, Prairie City, out that way. All these tract homes, they have like there's like no space in between the homes. There's like 0 yard. It's like even the place where we're at right here, it's the same way. Like homes don't have land anymore. The homes are like right next to each other. There's like barely any yard. You can't even do anything in.
That's
And
crazy.
and it's like they don't really, everything's like corporate cookie cutter. They don't really build unique homes anymore. Like, yeah, I mean, they're good homes, whatever, but like if you're gonna actually get a home with land, they don't build those. Like, people don't build those unless you buy the land yourself and then contract a builder to build a home. Then
Right.
you can have a home with land. But if all the new home builds are just tract homes right next
That's
to each
crazy,
other,
man.
they're like big apartments, you know.
And they're all getting bought up by fucking BlackRock and shit.
No, they're not even getting bought up. Have
Oh,
you heard
really?
like how the built new home market is right now? Because
No.
the rates and like how the economy is going, the new homes aren't selling. So these builders, they had set the price originally really high when the market was booming and rates were low, but because rates have risen so much, people's payments, they can't afford it anymore. They've been slashing prices and they've been offering huge incentives to for in certain savings deals for new home buyers. They can't, because they can't sell them. They're just sitting on these homes they can't sell, and they're like they can't sell them because they're tract homes too. They're like right next to each other. You don't have a yard, and it's just like everything is too new. It's like Truman Show type stuff. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's wild.
Like,
Yeah, it's like buying one of those. I mean, I guess on the outskirts of Roseville, it just they kind of keep building. So it's like even those ones that were out in the middle of nowhere earlier, like now they
yeah,
have shit going past them.
yeah. So my dad had a friend named Earl that opened up a dog kennel out there. It was like rural Roseville. I can't talk right now. Roseville, deep out there in West Roseville, like out just where it's like grassland, hilly, you know, or
Yeah.
flat, like, and so his land that he had was zoned rural, and he opened up this dog kennel, and like we would take Rocky there whenever we would be out of town, and he would stay there, and he had like horses and stuff there. But because of all those new home buildings that have been going out there in Roseville, they rezoned his land, and they're starting to build around him. And
Oh
they
my
made him,
god.
when they rezoned it, they made him shut down his kennel.
What?
Yeah,
They just came in and did that?
yeah, and it's like this dude had like this land for like decades, and he's a little bit older than my dad. Um, but so he's on the older side now, and like everything that he's had and built up, they kind of just shut it down.
Dude, that is fucked. I would fucking like protest, bro. I would be bombing fucking county buildings. Like if they did that to me, bro, I would be
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
up in arms, bro. I would be committing terrorist acts. I would be
Dude,
doing domestic terrorism.
when my dad told me that, because I know Earl, like I've met him before, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a good friend of your dad's," and like they grew up going hunting together. Like they went to the same high school, grew up like neighborhood friends, and like um so like I've met him before, and when I heard that, I was like, "What?" I was the same, my same reaction as you. I was like, "Dude, that's so messed up."
Yeah.
But I guess my dad mentioned like he had bought some other land, like, and it was like even further out, and was planning on possibly restarting operations there. But it's also at like he's older now, and does he want to put in the effort to get something up
And
and running? And
change the location of a business that is dependent on people knowing the location of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's fucked. That's
yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah, they're building like, but at least the ones here in Folsom El Dorado Hills, dude, I haven't seen all the stuff. I haven't been out there in a long time, so I haven't seen those ones in Roseville that have gone past his place. But the ones here in Prairie City area, Folsom and El Dorado Hills, dude, the homes are just like, I gotta send you this video, dude. I went through uh this neighborhood in El Dorado Hills. I was on my lunch break, and I went for a drive and was hitting the peace pipe.
Yeah.
And I would go through this neighborhood. It reminded me of the Truman Show, dude. Like everything was just like looked fake about it. It looked like a fake CIA town. Like it looked like there's actually nothing inside the homes. It looked like they're just like front of the shop and that's it.
Holy
And
fuck.
so
Fuck that, dude.
everything, all their lawns had no maintenance plants. None of them had real grass. And I don't know, that could be a California thing because they built them during a drought or whatever, but it just still made it look weird. And the only houses that had grass, it was fake turf. And so all this
Jesus.
stuff in these yards like had zero maintenance, had nothing to do to like upkeep them. And it just everything looked so fake. It was tripping me out.
Yeah, I don't fuck with like abandoned shit or like non-occupied shit. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. You know, it's like there should be some people living in there and there's nothing going on. What the fuck is why?
And it was
You know
new.
what I mean?
It was new stuff too. It made it weird.
That's even weirder.
Yeah.
That's even worse. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't fuck with that shit. I think my ribs are done here, bud.
All right, man. Have a good dinner.
I think I might have to tear into these ribs. I did have a quick segment on pulsars being the roadmap to the universe.
Okay.
I
You gotta
don't
do
know.
it.
I don't know if we want to save that for next time.
No, you gotta do it. You brought it up. You gotta do it now.
Okay, so one of the oldest.
You can eat a rib at the same time.
No, I got to dress them up. I'll be getting to that in a minute. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Hold on. If I'm going to talk about pulsars, let me make a Mr. Producer real quick. All right. Mr. Producer has been made. Okay, so pulsars, man. So pulsars are pretty fucking wild. They are some of the oldest objects that we can see, right? So basically, a pulsar is a neutron star, okay? Which is a, supergiant star. It collapses into or it starts to go into its red giant phase. It goes through, collapses, and it basically ends up being not quite dense enough to turn into a black hole, but it does condense down to about the size of this planet, like Earth, right? So like 1,000,000 times smaller than our sun is like the average size of a neutron star. So it's like planet size, right, on average. And the thing that makes a neutron star exist is that so neuron degeneracy pressure is what allows a neutron star to exist. So it's like there's no electrons, there's no protons. It's just neutrons, right? So the pressure of like the vibrations of these single neutrons, it's like we're talking about like proton, neutron, electron. You know what I'm saying? Like the protons and electrons are gone. It is just the neutrons packed into this fucking the size of the Earth, an entire star packed into the size of the Earth worth of neutrons. Some of these neutron stars have like spin and have radiation, and there's all these different flavors. But they're very old. They're very old. They can be very old. They can be new, but a lot of them are really, really fucking old.
Compared to us, they're all old.
That is a very good point. That is true. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure somewhere in the universe there's one right now that just was made. Maybe not. But it is a phenomenon that still occurs, but it used to happen And I'm not sure if it's just like, we see more of them because that's all that is left over from that early period, but we see a lot of old ones. All right. So we see a lot of old ones. And when I say old, I'm talking like 13 billion, you know what I'm saying? Like 12 billion years ago, like early universe. Like, so because all that is required to make a neutron star is a shitload of hydrogen and helium that comes together to form a star. So that was possible from, not day one, but very early on in the universe. You could make big stars. It was less likely for there to be big stars back then, probably because things were so evenly spread out, in terms of material. So, because ultimately what creates the arena for these stars to form is the dark matter, right? The little veins running through the universe that collected all of the physical matter that we can see. Anyway, I digress. So neutron star, pure neutrons, a lot of them have these jets of radiation that are basically, it's kind of like electrons trying to come and reattach to a neutron, or like protons coming and try to reattach to this neutron just because they're drawn to it. You know what I mean? And because of the density of the star and the physical properties of it, that it redirects that radiation, the electrons and protons flying around, into two streams out of the north and south pole of the star, because neutrons still have a magnetic field. They're not, when you mass them up on a grand scale like this, it has two streams coming out of the north and the south pole of the star. And if it has that, then that means that it is a what's the word? God damn it. It's the step before it becomes a pulsar. So it basically
say again.
So before it becomes, so there's two qualifiers here. So you have the neutron star. Some of them have these jets of particles coming out of the north and south pole because they're in a field of other matter. So it's pulling in this matter. It's not joining because of neutron degeneracy pressure. And then it gets redirected out of the north and south pole of the star. And that qualifies it, I think, as a magnetar. So a magnetar, which sounds like a Pokemon, I think it might be a Pokemon. A magnetar, magnetar, or whatever you call it, is just a neutron star that is sending these two beams of radiation out into the universe. Okay. A lot of neutron stars are spinning really fast. Okay. So if you have a neutron star that's spinning really fast and that has two magnetic poles that are spitting out radiation, then it's spewing out these things, these blips of information in certain directions constantly. And a lot of these, like I said, are really old. So they've been doing this. They've been spinning and emitting this radiation for billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of years, like over 10 billion years. Like I said, a lot of them are really old. And what is the, consequence of having these old that still exist, that are still doing this, that still are emitting radiation?
It is a magnetar.
What's that?
What you're talking about, magnetar.
Yeah, magnetar.
I found it here on NASA. Let me share this screen real quick.
Please.
So right here, a magnetar. A magnetar is a neutron star with a particularly strong magnetic field, about 1,000 times stronger than a normal neutron star. That's about 1 trillion times stronger than Earth's magnetic field and about 100 million times stronger than the most powerful magnets ever made by humans. We've only discovered 30 so far.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, here's what you're talking about. Magnetar plus pulsar.
Yes.
So you can have like both at the same time.
But yeah, so it's like it says there, it's pretty rare. What do you see there? That we know of 6 of them or something.
Yeah, it says 6 where it has both the qualities of a magnetar and a pulsar.
So, and they're very old. So think of these things like a lighthouse. Okay. And this is what I want to talk about is like a cosmic lighthouse or a cosmic, like a landmark, a cosmic landmark. Okay. Oh, a lighthouse. It says it right there.
Yeah, it says it.
Oh, let's go. My analogy is spot on. That's how you know it's spot on if fucking NASA's using it. Who is this?
NASA Jet Propulsion
All right.
Laboratory, California Institute of Technology.
Let's fucking get it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, bro. It's exactly like a lighthouse. And when you have it spinning and sending off that little blip, it catches the eye. That's why we know about them. You know what I mean? Like we can see those and it's like it's a cosmic landmark that can be used as a map. Okay, so these pulsars, they're pretty rare. We know of 6 of them. Well, we know of 3,000 pulsars and even more magnetars. So there's a potential, you could potentially, if you know of these 7 or 8 things, you can draw a map in the universe of these things. And then you can start to orient yourself in this greater universe that actually has, it's no longer this unending, crazy expanse of unknowingness that is, terrifying and scary. You can start looking at the universe in terms of actually having a map. These magnetar pulsars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how you create a star map for a different civilization. That's how you start to communicate with these people, being like, okay, and that's when I think it would be really good to look at like cave paintings and sort of ancient knowledge in that respect to be like, are these designs of stars that they're painting, are these the pulsars? Are these the cosmic roadmap? When people paint a night sky that has specific orientations in geographical space when they're making the map, could those align with these pulsars? Does it match some sort of pre-existing map of the universe? Is there, an avenue of research or intrigue there? I think it should be looked at, because there's only like it said right there, there's only 6 of them. So it's like these pillars
for the magnetar plus pulsar.
Correct. And that's what I'm talking about, like a spinning lighthouse that has the ability to be seen 13 billion years in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of these are old. So a lot of time has passed. A lot of light has traveled out of them. They're so energetic. They're so powerful. So a lot of the universe knows about these objects, right? So it's like, it would be hard for us now to look sideways and be like, oh, what other future civilizations exist? It's like, that's hard to do, right? What would be easy to do is to locate one of these old ancient pulsars, one of these old lighthouses, locate that and travel to that. Maybe that is like the cosmic crossroads for civilizations.
What if it goes dead by the time we get there and it just goes dark on our way over there?
That's the thing about the neutron stars, man. They've existed for 13 billion years. These, when you look into the physics of neutron stars, they are hardy creatures. They're one step away from a black hole, which one theory on black holes is that all black holes exist forever and they end up eating each other up and the whole universe becomes a black hole. That's like, black holes last forever. This is one step away from a black hole. So this is about as permanent as it gets in terms of physical matter, is a pulsar. So you don't have to worry about it going out. That baby's not going out. You know what I mean? So that's why I think if we picked these spots and like sent probes there, that would be the best way to go, because these are the oldest, the most visible, the most intriguing cosmic places, and there's only 6 of them that we know about. You know what I mean? And we can easily locate them because we can see them because they're flashing and they're shining, their light constantly. But that is,
on that graphic, it said there's 3,000 known pulsars, 1,000 known magnetars, but only 6 that have the characteristics of a magnetar plus pulsar.
Yeah. So the magnetar part of it makes it much more like readable. Like we can see it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with the pulsar, a lot of that depends on the plane that we're looking at it in.
Right.
If it's not shining directly at us, we're not going to see it.
You don't see it. Yeah. It's like you take a flashlight, and if it's not pointing at you and they just point it straight up, you can't really see it unless it's reflecting off other stuff it's pointing at.
Right. So I'm saying, so if you use the magnetar pulsar combinations as like the pillars of this universal map, it could be a good framework or foundation to build from. I don't know.
It reminds me of one of those like 3D space maps that they always have in sci-fi's, like Star Wars, or
you're like inside of it.
Yeah. And you could just like point at the star you want to go to.
Yeah, man. I think it's a theoretical framework to expand upon. I think it should be, and I don't remember where I heard it. It's not an original idea. I can't remember where I heard it, but yeah, I think it would be fantastic to focus on those objects and see what else, like, what can we do? What can we do with these guys?
Did you see the new UFO drop by Jeremy Corbell?
I don't think so.
I sent you, I texted it to you. I sent you the,
was it like right before the podcast?
No, I sent it to you like earlier in the day, like in the morning, I think.
I don't think so.
So it's called the Mosul Orb, Mosul, Iraq. And it was photographed, and there's supposedly a 4-second video that Corbell released. I've only seen pictures of it. I actually didn't give it much time to look for the video, but it's from a military intelligence agency, and it was still taken from a 4-second video clip, April 16th, 2016, by a reconnaissance aircraft in northern Iraq. And I'm gonna share the screen right here.
Oh, the orb. Yeah. I did see it on TikTok.
Can you see this orb?
Yeah.
So supposedly, there's fucking pop-ups and shit. Hold on. Can you see that?
That's from the aircraft? Took that?
Yeah, it's a reconnaissance aircraft. So, this orb right here supposedly moved with like direction and was filmed by the aircraft, and it's a UFO UAP in over Mosul, Iraq in 2016. It looks to me, it looks like a silver ball of some sort, like, or sphere.
Yeah.
So
as a physics, if you were looking at physics first, if you're going to send out a space probe to go do all sorts of probing, a sphere would be the best one. It would be the best one.
They're structurally very strong.
They're very strong. It doesn't matter in space, in terms of aerodynamics. But if you have some non-engine based propulsion that can just emanate from wherever, having a sphere is going to be your most aerodynamic, option in any atmosphere, whether you're in water or air.
Any direction that you wish to move in.
Yeah, in any medium.
Because it's like it's the same all around it from every angle.
All around. If you don't have to rely on rudders or a directional propulsion that is like pointed in a certain direction, if you don't have to rely on that, make it a ball. That seems very logical to me. That any sort of alien craft would just be a fucking circle. If they can make it here, if they have the technology to do that, they would have the technology to just make it circle because it's the best option in terms of physics.
So yeah, I just thought it was interesting. There's a lot of interesting talk about it because it's a legit video image from a video. Like it's been confirmed, like this is like a legit thing and they don't know what it is. I gotta find the video if it's even released. I don't know if it's just a still that's been released for some reason. And
I mean, on TikTok, I saw fighter jets. I saw fighter jets flying right behind a circle ball on TikTok.
You see it? Oh, do you have that video still?
I can check. It's on my phone. I would have to.
Are you on the laptop?
No, I do have my laptop right underneath me though.
Oh, we're on the phone right now. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, I gotta find it. I haven't seen it, so I don't really have anything other than that weird picture to go off, which could just be a fucking camera artifact for all I know. So
okay. Well, look into it. We'll see. Maybe next week I'm gonna be in an airport probably at podcast time. So I don't know if you want to try to do it, but
no, well, I mean we'll see whatever happens.
Yeah. All right, man. Sounds good. I'll fucking see you next week then on fucking whenever. I land on Tuesday night, but then my little brother's picking me up and I'm going to sleep. So I'll be there on Wednesday.
Cool. Enjoy those ribs tonight.
All right, brother.